Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Dear students, welcome you all in Pakistan International School Taif Virtual Learning System. Today is our 18 video lecture for grade 7 students, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Rosia Imran, your mathematics teacher. Chapter number 5, already we done 3 exercises of chapter number 5. Today we will do the last exercise of chapter number 5, that is exercise 5.4, and then we start chapter number 6. So exercise 5.4 included questions according to your scheme of studies are from question number 1 to question number 5. Means that question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the first 5 question is included in your scheme of studies. So first question is that this is the word problem exercise. The area of a square is 73.96 meters square. Calculate the length of its sides. You know that area of a square formula is side multiply side. So area of a square is given. In place of area of a square, we put its value 73.96 meter square equal side multiply side, 2 times given, so side square. So what will we do? We take square root on both sides. Why we take square root on both sides? To find the length of the side. Here side square is given. We want to find only the length of the side, not side square. Therefore we take square root on both sides. When we apply square root on both sides, so square and square root will cancel, side will come, and under root 73.96 will come. When 73.96 come, meter square, square cancel with square root, so meter will come outside. So by division method we find the square root. You know that when we find the square root by division method, we multiply, we make pairs first. 96 is the first pair, and the second pair is 73. So first we solve 73. To solve 73, same numbers we multiply. 7 sevens are 49, which is less than 73. 8 eights are 64, which is less than 73. 9 nines are 81, greater than 73. Therefore we take 8 eights are 64. So 73 minus 64, we get 9. And before taking down this 96 here, we put point up and then we take it down 96 here. Now you know that before doing the second step, what will we do? This number and this one number, the same numbers which we divide, we add them. 8 plus 8, 16 will come. Now with 16, we check one by one numbers and check that which one completely divide 996. First we take 161, multiply with 1, we get 161, which is less. Then we take 1 6, with 1 6, with 16 we take 2 and multiply with 2. Again it will be less when you find. Then with 1 6 we check 3, and then with 1 6 we check 4, multiply with 4. So when we check 1 6, 16 with 6, 166, multiply with 6, we get 996. So this is the required side length which is given in the question to find it. So this is the side length. 8.6 meter is the length of the side. Now come to the next question. 324 soldiers queued up such that the number of queues is equal to the number of soldiers in each queue. Find the number. Means that 324 soldiers are present in different column type in rows. So you have to find the number of rows that in each row equal number of soldiers are standing. So you have to find it like this. The number of queues is square root of 324, because they say that the soldiers and the queues are equal. So we take the square root of that. So when we find the square root of 324, that is 18 multiply 18. You can check it with your calculator. 18 multiply 18 is 324. So 18 square and square root will cancel. So the number of queues is equal to 18. Means that in each column 18 soldiers are standing and total number of queues are 18. Okay. So what we done, the number of soldiers, we take the square root, the number of queues. To find the number of queues, what we done, we take the square root, and square root of 324, 18 multiply 18. 18 is the square. Here square and square root cancel, so 18 is the number of queues, which is the required answer. Now come to question number 3. Question number 3 is, by which smallest number can 275 be multiplied to get a perfect square? You know that to find the perfect square, what will we do? We take the, we do the prime factorization, and in each for each prime number, each if each prime number is in form of pair, then the number will be a perfect square. What will we do? We take the prime factorization to find the perfect square of any number. We find the prime factorization, then each prime number should be in form of pair, means that twice the given number should be present. So we will find it with this way, that which one number we multiply to get the perfect square. So first of all, the smallest number we are going to find, that which small. So 275, first we divide with 5. At the unit place you have 5, so it's divisible by 5. 5 5s are 25, and to carry 5 5 means that 5 55s are 275. Then again with 5 5 11s are 55, and 11 1s are 11. So the smallest number to be multiplied to get a perfect square is 11. Why? Because look, this 5 prime number is given in form of pair, but 11 is not in form of pair, only single 11 is given. If one other 11 present, then means that this number will be converted in a perfect square. So the smallest number to multiply to get a perfect square is what? That is 11. Now come to the next question, question number 4. The number by which smallest number by which smallest number can 648 be divided to get a perfect square? Again, this question is just like question number 3. We find the prime factorization. All the numbers should be in form of pair. If any number left, so that number multiply with the given number to get a perfect square. So you know that 648 at the end, even number, so divide by 2. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8, means that 324 will come. Again even number in unit place, again with 2, so 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12, and 2 2s are 4, so 162. Again with 2 even number, 2 8s are 16, 2 1s are 8, 81. So 81, you know that not divisible by 2, so with the next prime number, 3 27s are 81, 3 9s are 27, 3 3s are 9, and 3 1s are 3. So if we write the prime factors of 648, that is 2 multiply 2 multiply 2, 3 multiply 3 multiply. Look, this 3 is in form of pair, this 3 is in form of pair, this 2 is in form of pair, but this one 2 is alone, having not pair. So for perfect square, pair should be present. So means that the smallest number to get a perfect square is what? 2. As the prime factor 2 is not in pair, so we should divide 648 by 2 to get a perfect square. Means that 2 is not in pair. Look, 3 4 times given, so 2 2 pairs, and 2 given 3 times, so 1 pair, and 1 2 is alone, so means that 2 is not in pair. So to get we should divide 648 by 2 to get a perfect square. Now question number 5 is your homework. You will do it by yourself, because 6.4 having only 5 question, and 3 for the first 4 question I already done. You have to find the question number 5. In question number 5, length and breadth of a rectangular swimming pool are 243 meter and 27 meter respectively. Find the length of a square shaped swimming pool which has the same area is rectangle. So what will we do? We first find the area of the rectangular swimming pool by multiplying length and breadth. The value which we get, that is equal to the mm, uh, square shaped swimming pool, that area. And then after that you take the square root by division method, so you will get the answer. Before going to start exercise 6.1, chapter number 5, review exercise, first 3 question is included in your scheme of study, so that first 3 question you do it by yourself. Okay, so before going to start 6.1, you should know that what is continued ratio. You know that this is the symbol of ratio. You already done it in class 6. So this is the symbol of ratio. Continued ratio means that in form in one order. If A ratio B is 3:5, B ratio C. Look, again it started from B, then find A, B, C. So in this exercise 6.1, the included questions are from question number 1 to question number 5. Again, the first 5 questions are included in your syllabus in 6.1. No, sorry, in 6.2 first 5. 6.1 complete exercise is included. 6.1 complete exercise is included. 6.2 having 5 questions. 6.1 complete exercise included according to your scheme of study. So you have to find the continued ratio A ratio B ratio C. So what will you do? You write it A ratio B ratio C like this. You have to write. Okay, A, B, and C you will write. First, what you have given, A ratio B, that is 3 ratio 5. So below A, you write 3 because the first value for A and the second value is for B. And for below B, you have to write B, 5. Then you have B ratio C. So below B, you have to write the first value, and below C, you have to write the second value. Now, how you do the multiplication? The first value multiply with this. The arrows show in the same way you have to do this. The first value with the first value of the second ratio, and then the first value, the repeated value by itself, and then this value with the third value. The arrow direction, you follow these arrow direction in all. You follow these direction and find the continuous ratio. 3 with 5, 3 5s are 15. 5 with 5, 5 5s are 25. And then this 5 with 6, 5 6 are 30. So this is A ratio B ratio C is equal to 15 ratio 25 ratio 30. Now you know that all these are divisible by table 5. So divide by 5. 5 3s are 15. 5 5s are 25. 5 6 are 30. So continued ratio is 3 ratio 5 ratio 6. Like this, you have to do first 5 question in the same way. Some question I solve here and some you do it by yourself. Look, question number 2, you do it by yourself just like question number 1. Now question number 3, if P ratio Q 1 ratio 2 and Q ratio R 1 ratio 2, then find PQR. Again, this ratio you write it PQR. So for PQ 1 ratio 2 and for QR 1 ratio 2. Means that here For P, value is 1. So below P, you write 1. For Q, value is 2. Below Q, you write 2. And for here in the second, for Q, value is 1. Below Q, you write 1. And for R, you have 2. So below R, you write 2. Again, the arrow direction, first one with this, 1 1's a 1. And then these two multiply with each other, 1 2's a 2. And then this one with this, 2 2's a 4. So this is the method to find the continued ratio. This is called continued ratio. So P ratio Q ratio R is 1 ratio 2 ratio 4. So like this, you have to solve question number 2 also. Okay. Now question number 4 and 5 is in the same way. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all having same method. So I solve question number 1 and 3. You have to solve 2, 4 and 5. Now come to question number 6. Question number 6 is the word problem. In a bakery, the ratio of the sale of bread to the egg means that the ratio of what? Ratio of bread and egg is 2 ratio 3. And the sale of egg to milk, egg ratio milk is 3 ratio 1. So which one is repeated? Egg is repeated. So first is the repeated one. Remember one thing. The repeated one, you will write it at the middle. The repeated one, you write it at the middle. Look, in a bakery, the ratio of the sale of bread to the egg is 2 ratio 3, and the sale of eggs to milk is 3 ratio 1. So which one is repeated? Eggs are repeated. So eggs, you will write it at the middle when you find the continued ratio. So how can you write it? Bread ratio eggs ratio milk. Why eggs in middle? Because eggs is repeated in both ratio. So look, bread to egg. So bread is 2. So you write it 2. Eggs is 3. So you write 3. Then in next, eggs to milk. Eggs 3 and milk 1. So eggs 3 and milk 1. Now in the same way, the arrow direction will be same. The first one with the second ratio multiply, and then both the same one, the repeated one, multiply with itself, and then the second first one second value multiply with the second ratio second value. So 2 3s are 6 will come ratio, 3 3s are 9, and 3 1s are 3. So 6 ratio 9 ratio 3. So bread ratio egg ratio milk is 6 ratio 9 ratio 3. If you check, all these three values are divisible by 3, table 3. So we divide it by 3. So we get bread ratio egg ratio milk 2 ratio 3 ratio 1. This is very simple and easy question, but you have to care about that which one value is repeated in both ratio. That one value you write at the middle, and you follow the ratios order. Look, the first value, first is bread, so below bread 2. Second is egg, so below egg 3. And here eggs to milk, so first is eggs is 3, so below eggs 3, and below milk 1. So be careful about this, otherwise there is nothing difficult in this question. The repeated one, you write it at the middle. Now come to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7 is, Ahmad and Irfan got a profit in a business in the ratio of 5 ratio 4, and Irfan and Wasim got a profit in the ratio of 8 ratio 9. Find the ratio of profit among Ahmad, Irfan and Wasim. Now look at the question, which one person is repeated? Irfan. In first one, Irfan, and in second one also Irfan. If you look at Ahmad and Irfan got a profit in business, so how can we write it? Ahmad ratio Irfan, and then what you have given, and Irfan and Wasim. Irfan, again Irfan, so means that Irfan and then Wasim is at the, so which one is repeated? Irfan is repeated, so the middle one value will be for Irfan. So look, Ahmad and Irfan. So first ratio is 5:4. So the 5 value is for Ahmad and 4 value is for Irfan. Then Irfan and Wasim. So the first value in the second ratio, 8 is for Irfan and 9 is for Wasim. Okay. So now you have to, the arrow's direction will be same. The first one value multiply with the second ratio first value, and the repeated value multiply by itself, and the second value of first ratio multiply with the second value of the second ratio. So this is called continued proportion. So 5 8s are 40, 8 4s are 32, 4 9s are 36. So 40 ratio 32 ratio 36. So Ahmad ratio Irfan ratio Wasim is equal to 40 ratio 32 ratio, these two dots called ratio 36. All these are divisible by table 4. So divide by 4, 4 10s are 40, 4 8s are 32, 4 9s are 36. So Ahmad, Irfan and Wasim profit ratio will be 10 ratio 8 ratio 9. So this is the ratio of their profit. This is question number 7. So students, in exercise 6.1, total 9 questions are given. First 5 questions having same method, nothing change. The repeated one value, you have given different variables to find the continued ratio. So in this question number 1 and 3 I already done. So you have to solve question number 2, 4 and 5. And in word problem 6, 7, 8, 9, these 4 questions are word problem. So 6 and 7 here I solve in the video lecture. You have to solve 8 and 9 in the same way. I hope you can easily do. Now come to the homework. Today we done exercise 5.4, exercise 5.4. Total first 5 questions included in your scheme of study. According to scheme of study, 5 question included, 4 I already, first 4 I already done in this video lecture. The fifth one question you have to do by yourself. By mistake here I write 2 3 5, only question number 5, because you can check we done question number 1, question number 2, question number 3 and question number 4. First 4 questions we already done. So only question number 5 from exercise 5.4 you have to do. Now review exercise of chapter number 5. Question number 1 are one line answers, and answers are mostly given at the end of book, and number 2 are fill in the blanks, and number 3 are choose the best answer. So this you can do it on book, the two question number 2 and 3, and question number 1 you only do it on notebook. And exercise 6.1, total 9 question. Question number 1 I solved, question number 3 I solved, 2, 4 and 5 just like 1 and 3. 2, 4 and 5 just like 1 and 3. And question number 8, 9 just like question number 6 and 7, which I already solved in the video lecture. Like this you have to solve. So inshallah there will be no problem. You can easily solve it. So try to do all these questions. Don't think that homework is more. Homework is not more. And you know that in maths, the similar questions, if you do it by yourself, then you get a good practice and you will be capable to do the same questions if you understand the lecture. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.